Insider reveals major Buccaneers update. So a new candidate for the offensive coordinator position has emerged, and it's a name that was really not being floated around by anyone. I'm pretty sure this is his first interview for an OC position, and it's actually someone that I think Bucs fans could get really excited about. I'm Sebastian, the Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the divisional round weekend as we narrow down to find out who the Super Bowl champion of this season is going to be. And during all of that, coaching changes are going on. Sean McDermott was fired this morning, Monday morning, and crazy stuff. I know that makes a lot of Bucs fans upset. They want, Todd Bowles fired. You have coaches like Sean McDermott getting fired, Mike Tomlin stepping down, John Harbaugh, all these big names. Why are we stuck with Todd Bowles? It is what it is. The Glazers love him. This is definitely Todd Bowles' last chance in the upcoming year, and the focus right now is getting the offensive coordinator position correctly or getting it right. And this is a name I'm really excited to talk about. But first things first, we do want to shout out our sponsor.
Before we get into the rest of today's show, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. If you download Kalshi using the link in the description and use code DIGESTNFL, you're going to get $20 when you trade your first 100. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and on their platform, you can trade yes or no on real-life events such as sports, elections, news, even weather. You can find everything on Kalshi. Now, whether you're in California, Texas, or anywhere across the country, Kalshi is now live in all 50 states. For sports fans, we can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out anytime. As we look forward in the NFL calendar, we can look toward the NFL draft and see that Fernando Mendoza's odds are skyrocketing right now on Kalshi to be the number one overall pick. You can also trade on a maybe more lesser-known option, Ruben Bain Jr. It's genuinely the smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Download Kalshi with the link in the description, and don't forget to use this code DIGESTNFL to get your $20 bonus.
All right, and this means that we have to just get right into it. So the news is that the Bucs are interviewing offensive coordinator of the Bengals, Dan Pitcher, for their vacant OC job this week. This is Ian Rappaport reporting. So basically, Zach Taylor gave Pitcher permission to seek, to interview with teams calling for offensive coordinator opportunities, and he added on a significant development. And at first, I was like, is this something to really get excited about? I mean, it's not like the Bengals are, world breakers. They missed the playoffs, even with Joe Burrow, Chase, and Higgins and all these weapons. Like, why should we get excited about this situation? And I had a friend of mine, shout out Austin, who is a Bengals fan, Bengals diehard, and he told me that he's the one coach on this coaching staff that he doesn't want to go, which is really interesting because he obviously wants Zach Taylor fired for Cincinnati. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. Why is that? And, it's like I had questions just regarding it. It feels like this offense has been kind of underperforming this year. They got shut out by the Ravens at one point. I was like, I don't know if I want a play caller who gets shut out by a team that doesn't even make the playoffs or win their division. And he said that Pitcher actually designs plays, but he doesn't call them. Zach Taylor is still the play caller. Like he's given a list of plays that Pitcher designs, and then basically Taylor makes the final say on which play they're going to do. So it's a different dynamic than what people expected. So, and that's why I think Pitcher really wants to go look like elsewhere and actually call plays, not just design them. So the offensive coordinator title that he holds in Cincinnati is a bit misleading, and that's why I think it's a significant development, and Bengals fans don't want him to leave. So this is actually exciting that the Buccaneers are actually, they jumped right on top of this. Greg Auman then said Dan Pitcher, who's interviewing for the offensive coordinator job for the Buccaneers, is 39 years old, has only worked for the Bengals. He got there in 2016, elevated to quarterback coach in 2020. I believe that was Joe Burrow's first season. And then offensive coordinator under Zach Taylor in 2024. Bengals have ranked 6th and 12th in scoring offense in 2024 and 2025, and he's now interviewing for an OC job here. I think it is worth noting that with Dan Pitcher as the OC in his first season in Cincinnati, You could argue that Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense in 2024 was the best offense in the league, and Burrow had like MVP numbers. So it really comes down to does this guy have what it takes to call the plays at the right time? Like, he can design them clearly really well, but will he have good situational awareness and just be able to call the stuff at the right time? And it's also worth noting that Albert Breer also brought up that Mike McDaniel is he's heard that Tampa Bay could be a good spot for him. So chatter is still going around about Mike McDaniel. That is not off the table yet. But with the Bills coaching a job coming up or opening up, and the Ravens job still looking for their head coach, he's still interviewing for all these jobs. So that's going to be quite a competition. Because with Lamar and Josh being available to coach, I think it would be shocking if McDaniel probably doesn't take one of those jobs, but we'll see. And then Scott Reynolds from Pewter Report says that throw in the fact that the defense has been poorly coached, especially in the secondary, and I'm not quite sure that Bowles is going to get this unit fixed this upcoming season. We'll see later this week if Bowles being on the hot seat in 2026 will deter the team from hiring a quality offensive coordinator or not. If Tampa Bay can't land Todd Monken, Mike McDaniel, or Zach Robinson, then look out. This upcoming season could be a disaster, especially if Bowles and the Bucs have to rely on hiring yet another unproven offensive coordinator without play calling experience. If that happens, the Glazers may ultimately regret keeping Bowles instead of moving on from him. It's worth noting, I think a lot of Bucs fans already feel that this is a mistake keeping Bowles, and it's better to get ahead of the curve than just feel like you're wasting a season. I feel conflicted. I feel that Todd did not have the players he needed on defense to really do what they needed to do. But I also think Todd had a lot of boneheaded decisions just in game, calling blitzes when he shouldn't have, and it cost the Bucs a few games, especially down the stretch. It's listen, he could be a good culture guy, but I don't know. I can't bring myself to say that the Bucs are doomed no matter what. I do think that this specific opportunity. I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. I think pitcher would be a good option. Like I've mentioned before with like Davis Webb, who hasn't been an offensive coordinator yet, but is being like very much sought after, even for head coaching jobs. I think pitcher is going to be a name that we're going to be seeing getting a lot of interviews. The Bucs being the first one, it might set some people off. I actually think that just maybe I'm reading too much into my friend and what he's saying and like how much he wants him to stick around. But I given how much how tired he is of Zach Taylor and the fact that he can recognize that this guy is actually like one of the good ones, tells me that this would actually be a good hire. So I am very interested to see. I know a lot of Bucs fans aren't excited about next year just because of Todd Bowles, but I think if we make the right moves, this could be one of the moves that is really puts us in the right direction, and maybe he gets promoted to head coach if we hire him, in the middle of the season or after the season, and maybe we get the right defensive players. I think there's just a lot that could still happen in 2026. I think if we get the right defensive players, the right offensive mind combined together, this team can go on a run. And maybe that is overestimating what these guys are capable of, but I'm not ready to just sink the ship before it's even started, before it's even set sail. And I want to see what we do in free agency. I want to see what we do in the draft and who we hire as OC. And if all those things go well, the Buccaneers have never really been one to win the offseason. I mean, besides the Tom Brady offseason where we acquired him, we don't really make a bunch of splash moves. It's more of we draft some sneaky picks and then see if they work out in the season. I want us to go as all in on this season as possible. So we'll see. We'll find out. Todd has a lot to prove. I think Jason Licht has a lot to prove, and we'll see how it works out.
Before we get into the rest.
And I don't know. I'm optimistic about this interview. I think it might not be the last interview that we see, but this one, we still have yet to interview Davis Webb, even though I brought that up as an option. Mike McDaniel, I know, is highly, highly wanted by basically everybody. But it's good to see that Alba Breer was reporting that, McDaniel is still like heavily considering us. I did see Grizzard is interviewing for the Eagles offensive coordinator position, so that's kind of funny and ironic. I hope they do it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about pitcher being or interviewing for the Bucs OC job, and whether you're as optimistic as I am that he could work out, or maybe you're just like, no, I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. Let me know down below, and until we get more updates, I'll keep y'all on the track. So I'll see you in the next video.